Hello. Okay, so we're live with another session of A Woman Full of Soul, and today we have Nicole with us, who is the founder of Elizabeth Cordelia Design and Fashion. So we are excited to talk to her today. I've known Nicole for quite a while, years now, and we've actually done work projects during COVID together, including making masks for people in Africa and sending them over there. Nicole was a very big part of that effort. And so we're very grateful and thankful for all that she did with that. And she made it very enjoyable to be able to make masks for people and send them abroad when it could have been very, very challenging to do that. So we are ready to do her interview. Nicole, tell us a little bit about yourself and what your everyday looks like, your day to day, and
My
what that
daily
looks like.
routine, huh? Oh gosh, well, my daily routine. All right. It varies. It starts off kind of funny with dogs waking me up, to
Dogs
be
do you have?
honest. So we have three dogs,
Okay.
um, and yeah, they just kind of wake me up and get the day going in a funny way. So it's always fun waking up to them. Um, and then I have my two girls, Ileana and Katerina, who are homeschooled. So they kind of wake up with the hustle and bustle of the dog's noise and stuff and whatnot. So our usual day starts with them doing their schooling. They're homeschooled. Um, and once their schooling is done, for the most part, I wait till they're done with what they need to get accomplished, and then I focus on my job and other tasks around the house and whatnot. So, and I'm
Are you
trying to start another business. I don't know if you knew that.
that what?
I'm starting another business
Yeah,
soon.
I saw that. So you have Elizabeth Cordelia, and you're still going to do that, right?
I'm doing that, yes.
Yeah. And then you're also doing a coffee thing. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'm starting a coffee brand and it's called Strong Enough. Um, and the
Why did you start
idea,
a coffee brand? What
how did I
inspired
do
you?
it? I like coffee, to be completely honest. And a little childish in my answer, but I love coffee. So with the pandemic, the clothing line kind of, I mean, it's still there, but I didn't
Right.
show for Fashion Week in September. Things obviously changed with anybody's business with the pandemic.
Mhm.
So I was trying to think of another, I guess you could say, side job
Yeah.
to have. So essentially, I'm going to do this coffee brand and sell other coffee related products.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love coffee, so
All right, I'm going to send you some samples.
This. I love it. How do you
But
find the
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to explain the name of it, but go ahead.
No, no, go, because I'm gonna ask you another question that's gonna be a long answer for you, I think.
Oh dear.
Look, see, I even got my cup ready for
So
you.
you sip your coffee, and I'll talk about coffee. So the brand is called Strong Enough because as a woman of abuse, I think that women in general are all strong enough to overcome so many obstacles as we have overcome in history. Um, and part of what I make through proceeds, I want to donate to a foundation. I was thinking of donating to Light School Aruri.
Yeah,
Am I
Jack's,
pronouncing that right? Aruri?
yeah, it's Light
Okay.
Your
Like,
School, and it's by Jack Bumbo, and I'll share his information when we share this video.
right.
But yes, so he works with youth and women, well, orphaned youth, but also women who have been abused and do not have their needs met.
Right.
And he helps them to have their needs met, but then also does a lot of advocacy work, which I don't know if he originally knew that that was going to be part of what he was doing. When he first founded the place, I don't know if he recognized he was going to be doing as much advocacy as he actually is doing. I think he thought maybe he was just going to be doing the school and all of that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But he's really ramped. And I'm saying that because I've been friends with you for a long time. I've been friends with him for a long time.
Right.
And he didn't share so many posts about the abuse of the girls in the past. or violence against women. And now
Right.
he's really, really sharing about that now. But also, I think COVID has also brought it on because they've seen an increase in abuse and violence
Yeah.
in their area there.
Right. Yeah. I've seen his
So,
posts. It's so sad, but
yeah. But that makes a lot of sense. I love
yeah.
that.
So
That's
I've asked him
awesome.
actually. Yeah. So I'm hoping to work with him through your connection. Thank you.
Sure.
To
That
help
you'll
him out.
probably even want to do like have your coffee sell there or something like that. You could
That would be
possibly do a
amazing.
partnership like that too, or do
Right.
it as a fundraiser. We could even
Yeah.
do it as a fundraiser for us. I could use it.
Yeah. You
We could
need
do that.
funding. Let's tie
Yeah,
that in too.
we could do that. So,
I'm
so
up for that. That'd be great.
is there anything else you want to share about the coffee line?
No, so it hasn't officially launched yet. I'm just waiting on the legal process to be done. Um, and then I can give you the website, obviously.
Okay.
Um, but it's
And the
getting there.
Elizabeth Cordelia, you're looking to be scheduled back to fashion by February. Is that what you're thinking or you're hoping?
Yeah,
We're,
I'm hoping.
we're hoping. We're
I'm
hoping.
hoping. I'm booked for 2 shows to show in Fashion Week in February.
Okay.
Um, one show has announced that they have a venue.
Oh,
And
good.
obviously, the seating will be limited.
Hmm.
So it'll mainly be live streamed for the audience, buyers, and obviously parents because it's children's wear.
Hmm.
Um, so it'll be unique and different, but I'm hoping it at least happens because I think so many people need this,
It'll happen. Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Um, and I'm saying that because I've seen, um, I think a couple different lines do online fashion shows, even though New York Fashion Week was um, not canceled, but rearranged in a different way or
Yeah,
whatever they
yeah.
decided there. Um, I've seen different lines, and this is one of the lines that I was messaging you about. There's a bridal line that has gone to virtual online show and then virtual online appointments to
Okay,
talk to the clients about their dresses and their fashion and their design and all of
right.
that. Do like consultations online. So that's
Yeah.
another idea too. Um,
Mhm.
if you have the time to do it. I don't know. They set up their social media to help with that and their site to
Okay,
help with that. And
right.
then also still do in-store appointments. But
Yeah.
but they have all the precautionary stuff. They're doing the temperature check, all that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That'll be interesting. If February does happen, I'm supposed to do a photo shoot for a billboard that I booked as well, which
awesome.
is going to take a lot longer than usual because I'm going to have to spread out models, think about spacing. It's going to be so unique is a positive way to put it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we all know.
yeah, we've all seen the craziness and the change.
Yeah. And so I will speak to that because you were asking me earlier about here in New York. The one thing, and I haven't really talked to anybody about this yet, but the one really good thing that I've seen happen here in New York, yes, things are slower, but
Yeah.
I've seen people treat each other with more respect and actually, it's not just a respect factor. There's actually better manners that are happening now.
Oh.
So they're happy to not overhear your conversation and stand 6 feet away from you so that they don't overhear it. Right?
Oh,
Or
that's funny.
they're happy to give you that space and distance
Yeah.
um so that you I don't know how to word it, but
So
so
everyone's
that you feel
comfortable.
more respected. But there's a
Right.
whole other thing, like um and this is just the best example I can give. So normally when you're here in New York, you know New York really well because you've been here and you've seen the hustle and bustle of the city and
Yeah.
everything.
I miss
When
it.
you're walking on the street now, and there's businessmen walking by you, because there are businessmen and businesswomen walking by you, but I'm going to do this in the context of like men and women and dynamics. When businessmen are walking by you, or when you have to go into a building or whatever, those manners that used to be in place before, like back in the 50s, they've popped back up. They're back.
Wow.
So I've seen men be more respectful of women and the space and the distance, or giving the women the go ahead to walk first before them, or waiting for a woman to walk and cross the road first or whatever before they go. So really, it's great to see it in my land, in my world. It's great to see it. I don't know if other people would feel the same, but it's caused people to slow down and to have that reverence for each other that they used to have, but kind of let go of over time, because they were so into their work and had to get there and had that,
right, everything's
that
rushed.
push of the city, that rush of the city, that's not necessarily always good. So there's a lot less swearing out in public.
Wow.
I haven't seen that as much. Or people like getting upset about hailing taxi cabs and all that. So I actually think the fashion thing, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
You're teaching a new way of, or a different mindset of a way of being and existing with each other. That has that respect. Like even for the girls I'm thinking, if you're doing the girls on the shoot, giving them that space with their dresses, right? Like you want to make sure that their dresses don't get messed up, that they're not
definitely,
No,
I think you're right. It'll give them a little more space, and probably the girls will probably feel a little more special than they usually do, because it's a little more time with the photographer one-on-one.
Yeah. But then also helping each other out in a new way, where maybe because we've seen that here in the city. I think it's going to be the same there. And also with, different performances like the orchestras and stuff, they've had to go back to this socially distanced performance, and how many people and what does that look like, and the maneuver around each other, It's the same in fashion in that way, same in fashion. But it also helps your line stand out more, because you have more spacing between the models, right? Yeah. Or do you think it's about the same amount of spacing? Do you think they'd be walking the runway the same spacing, or no?
No, I think it would be more spacing now. And also the director of the one show that's so far announced they're going forward, she had said it's going to be limited amount of designers per time. Usually you'd have maybe like 8 or 10 designers per show.
Okay.
I think now it's going to be a half the amount, because of the spacing. Like you said, it's going to take longer for each line to show. So it'll be interesting, a little more time.
But remember, with that timing, even though it's going to take longer, your customer and whoever's looking at the fashion has more time to appreciate the design and the fashion.
Right. Yeah.
They can actually sit there and admire it, and really admire it, and see it for what it really is in its glory.
Yeah.
Where before there was that, it's kind of the same.
It was a little more rushed before. Yeah. It's going to seem a little more, it'll probably seem more relaxed in a way.
Yeah. But more appreciation too.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
That's exciting. And coming from me, it's exciting. I know for you, it's not. You're like, this is a challenge. What am I going to do?
I like challenges. I like change. Yeah. I'm ready for it.
How would you say that your life has changed during COVID? Besides the actual like you're pivoting, like people have said that they've had to pivot for things. What has been the most difficult for you during COVID? And what are 3 positive changes that have occurred?
3 changes. Oh my gosh.
Most difficult and then 3 positive. I know. This is supposed to be cathartic.
Okay. No. The most difficult, I could probably list like 10 difficulties, but The most difficult, I think, because the girls are now always with me, that it's about, giving them more things to do and trying to get more activities for them to be entertained with. They're not young, they're 11 and 15, but still, they need activities. They need to see friends. Um,
They need a
everything's
social life, right?
different.
And
They
what
need a
does that
social
look like
life.
now?
Yeah, so I was mentioning to you earlier that here in North Carolina, football teams have been playing, school football teams, but only private schools or homeschool teams, um, where they don't have to follow the school's advisements. So, and it's all outdoors, obviously, so you can still have a game. The audience is spread out more. So my girls have been cheerleading, especially Katerina, who's 15. She cheerleaded with a homeschool team.
Mhm.
They just ended. So that was like her big fun thing to do since August. So for a few months. So it was a lot of fun. It really was. The challenge was that practices were outside as well to keep it safe.
Yeah.
So there were some cold night practices and some cold games to attend because they were at night as well. But at least they had that. I was so thankful for that, for the girls. And for me, the moms got to socialize a little bit, which was nice.
Yeah, we all
Everyone needs
need
that. Yeah.
that human interaction in
Yes.
person, not just through screens. It's screens
Right.
are on you, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're thankful you're joining us virtually right now too.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
Hopefully I'll see you in February.
you will, girl. Remember when I was like, "Oh, you're good. You could do it in the park. You could
Yay.
do
Yeah,
Fashion
right?
Week in the park, if nothing
You can
else.
always do it in the
The
park,
Central
if
Park is still
anything.
open." Yeah.
So, okay, so that's been the big challenge, is the girls, keeping them going.
Are they
Um,
bored? Are they, how are they acting when they're at home? Or has their moods changed at all? Or
um,
are they pretty much the same and just,
they're pretty much the same. I would say they've actually gotten along better together because of all the time here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You have
yeah,
kids. They're forced to be together for so long. They've gotten along really well. So that's a positive. Their relationship has really gotten stronger. But yeah, I guess there are days that honestly they just want to stay in pajamas all day and do nothing.
yeah.
It's like everyone else is home. Can we just stay home and do nothing?
Yeah.
So, but thankfully the dogs get us to go out. They need to get out, so
Oh, and you're like, we're
so
going.
we need to
Is
get out.
everything else open up there? We didn't actually talk about that earlier. I don't and if we did, I don't remember. I know what I
Um,
said about New York, but your restaurants and everything are open still or no?
yeah, restaurants are
Right
open. They're at
now.
limited capacity.
Okay.
Malls are open, but you have to wear masks the whole time,
Mhm.
and that's supposed to be limited capacity. So some stores have it posted, how many people can go in and whatnot.
Okay.
Um, some movie theaters are open, I've heard, but I haven't seen any that are open.
Okay.
I miss movies. But obviously parks are open. They just haven't done any live music
Yeah.
this summer.
Well,
So
that's
that was kind of a bummer, but yeah. Our first summer here in North Carolina, we didn't really get to explore as much as we would have liked.
well,
But
you're exploring the house.
we
At
are,
least
we are. We
you're
know
like, I'm
this
really gonna know this place inside and out by the time.
we know the house. We know our neighbors well in the neighborhood. Yeah, so it's been interesting.
Two of your other positives, well, community. Sounds like you're building community there.
We are, yes. The girls have made a lot of friends, and I think I really have to give credit to their cheerleading coaches for that, for getting all the girls together. Because even though Ileana's 11, she was invited in as a junior cheerleader because there were other sisters of
Yeah.
the girls on the team. So
Awesome.
yeah, so community is a big one. Um, let's see what else. It's another positive. All right, so we had COVID projects. I feel like so many people had COVID projects.
Oh, but weren't you even doing soap making? You guys were making soap, weren't you?
Yeah, the
I was
girls.
like, oh my gosh, they're making
So
soap. I was
I was
excited.
getting creative. I was like, we need things. We need activities. So they learned how to make soap. They learned how to make candles. We grew a little mini garden in the back, which was fun, which was therapeutic. Playing in like the dirt and gardening
Mm-hmm.
was so relaxing. So that was fun. The vegetables didn't come out as good as we had hoped,
Tried though.
but it was a good project. So yeah, it was interesting, right?
I think it's good because you helped them to develop their creativity. When I saw the soap making, I was like, she is so creative. And your daughter made her own dress for one of the dances, didn't she? Make her own dress? Or you made the dress for her, or she picked it out
um,
or something?
oh
You
yes,
made the design?
they did a prom. Kat and her friend did a COVID prom, they call it, where they went to a friend's house and there was like, I think just 5 of them, but it was perfect. And the dress she wore was actually a dress she had worn at a pageant that I made.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she helped them design. That
I'm
was
sure they will never forget the creativity, the
yeah,
creative aspect, and what they like, that good part of it, you know, especially if they didn't
definitely.
know how to make the stuff before. Like even the masks, they can go back
Yeah,
like years
they definitely
later and
helped
say we were part of
them.
this process because they
Right.
were, yeah.
They were. That was exciting for them to do. Definitely. And they learned how to, I mean, they know how to sew, but they learned how to sew quickly.
Yeah.
Because I was
I
like,
know
let's
you got the
finish
mask
up.
back to me really quick. You were like, here they are. I'm like,
I
wow,
tried.
they're good.
Well, I was thinking of shipping time to Africa. I was like, they need these masks. How long are they going to actually wait to get it?
No, I was
Um,
worried about that, but they got
but
there.
they
And it
did.
didn't take too long.
Yeah,
Um,
it seemed fairly
it
quickly.
was quick. It was
Yeah,
less than a month, I think. I think it was
yeah,
like a week or 2 weeks. They did it quick, but
that's
they
great.
were labeled, I think I had them labeled essential materials or something like that.
Oh, that's smart. That's good.
So I think that may have helped push them through. Although
Yeah.
Jack was like, when's the package coming? I need to make sure that
Oh
you tell me when
no.
it's, he was worried.
Oh
Because he
no.
had, so the thing is for the area in Africa that we made the masks for, they are in Kenya
Right.
and they don't have a FedEx right there. The FedEx is in Nairobi, and that's the only way that they could receive whatever was coming to them. So Jack had to go from wherever he was in Kenya to like the consulate house in Nairobi to pick up the masks. And so he was
Oh,
like, I have to make sure I go on a day when I can get there, but also
yeah.
when I know they've already cleared and all this stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
but it was really good. And they were so thankful and happy and
Good.
excited to
That's
get those. So one of my questions is what inspires you every day to do what you do and to continue to do what you do? So you can answer this for your business, like Elizabeth Cordelia, or you can also answer it for even the homeschooling piece because you've been homeschooling for a long time before COVID, all that stuff. What
good.
inspires you to do what you do every day?
Well, as a mother, and I'm sure you can relate, ultimately my girls inspire me. Um, I do want them to see that, now as a single mom, I can do these things. I can be self-reliant and I can go out and do things alone, so to say, even though I have a team. But so I really think for them to see me go out and pursue a dream, because fashion was always a dream.
Hmm.
Um, and with homeschooling, they've become very self-sufficient. A lot of it is them doing it. I'll kind of say, these are your tasks for today, or where are you with your computer assignments and whatnot. So I think it's great how they've become so focused and just reassured that they could do it, you know?
Yeah, and managing their own time and figuring that out. I know
Yeah,
Ethan,
yeah.
with lockdown, he's been like, I love this because I can manage my own time and I know exactly what to do and how I'm going to do it, and
Yeah.
liked it. But now he's like, yeah.
Oh.
So I understand exactly what you're saying because they're in control of their own stuff now.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Definitely.
just give me 1 second. A notification came up about my battery for my computer. So I'm going to plug in, but I'm going to stop recording and then start recording. I'm just going to pause this for a minute. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we're back now that my computer's plugged in. We're all set. You probably think I probably should have thought of plugging it in before I started, but I had too many things going on. So whatever.
Too much.
So it's plugged in now. We're good to go. All right. So just like I just had that challenge, what is one challenge you find you're facing right now? And how are you working to overcome it?
So I mentioned I'm a single mom now, and that is interesting to say the least. Um, but as I mentioned, my girls, they're such great support. They have become a huge help. It's going to sound so cheesy. Oh, I don't know how to put it,
No,
but
just
it's
say
like
what's true. It's
they,
okay.
yeah, they do chores around the house. They help out, and they've just like, I think with COVID too, they've become a little more relaxed and not so needy, to put it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Uh, like you were saying, even how the boys are good with managing time now with their schoolwork. It's like, they've kind of learned how to develop their own days more on their own. So, which helps.
Yeah.
The day-to-day tasks. But
Okay. So I'm just going to ask one question, and you don't have to go into a lot of detail.
yeah.
How long have you been going through the single phase? Like, how long would you say you've considered yourself to be a single mom?
So when I moved here with the girls in September is when I say it would officially start. September of last year. So it's been over
Okay.
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been over a year, but COVID's kind of throw that in a, you mean September this past year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not,
So
yeah, I know what you mean.
over a year. Because I moved here with just the girls, me and the
Yeah,
girls.
pre-COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pre-COVID. So
Um,
yeah, so throw COVID into the mix, and I've had some stressful moments.
oh, of course. Yeah. So the first thing I'll say is the first year is always the hardest year, I think. Unless you're set up really well, which even if you're really set up very well, you still have emotional stuff that you're dealing with the first year of a
Yeah.
divorce. And you're learning how to do everything on your own all over again. Like you used to be able to do that before you were married and maybe before you had children, depending on when you had your children.
Yeah.
Or whenever anybody's had their children. But then after that, you're back on your own, and now maybe you have children added to that, right?
Right.
The whole new way to figure out your life on top of your children's lives, and now you've thrown COVID in the mix. So and you didn't even throw it in.
I know.
Science or whatever threw it in, right? So you're like, okay, what's it gonna look like now?
Right? What's gonna happen now?
Yeah. So that's a
You know
lot.
what? Bring all the challenges. Bring it on. I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
can handle things, right?
yeah. So
it's been
I'm
interesting.
there with you on your challenge. I agree with that challenge. I can see how it's totally challenging. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know. We know. Who is one person who has inspired you in your life? And this is like inspired you beyond belief. It can be someone who is alive, someone who has died,
Right.
somebody who's famous, not famous, someone
Oh
who,
my God.
I don't know, you're going to know,
That's
but
a hard one. Yeah, no, I was thinking about that, and I can't pinpoint it down to just one person for some reason.
okay.
So
So
I
tell
have a
me,
couple. That's
give me a couple. I want to hear about these people.
um, so I'm really close to my aunt and uncle, and
Hmm.
I would say, um, especially now, seeing them get older and what they're facing with age, and they couldn't have kids, so that was a challenge for them. I guess the point of it, of bringing them up, is they've seen so many challenges,
Hmm.
but they've worked through it, and they are still so successful and happy, and they're so thankful with what they have. They're always with a smile on their face, and
Hmm.
they're just always such happy people. I think that's great. I like happy people. As cheesy as it is. People that you can just go talk to and they make you smile.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's totally them.
yeah.
So they're always inspiring in that way, to always look at the positive things. And then another person is Audrey Hepburn. I'm a huge Audrey Hepburn fan. Um, and you and I love dance, and so she was a dancer. She's a
Uh,
ballerina.
and I love her too. Like she's
Don't you
great.
know? She's so
Her quotes are
classic.
amazing.
Her
Her
quotes
life
are
was
great.
amazing. What she
Yeah,
overcame is amazing. Yeah.
exactly. And the fact that she devoted so much time to helping people. You
So much. Yeah, so much. She did so much with her life,
Staff and yeah,
beautiful life, and so many different ways, like um
I
she
just
did the movies and she did the acting and the dancing and she did fashion.
right.
Um but she used it all for the good too, you
Yeah,
know? She
I
didn't
think
just sit on that. You know what I mean? Like
right. Yeah, no,
there's
she
certain
didn't
people who do
just
act and do all those things and don't really do anything with it.
right. Yeah, she didn't just sit back and say, "Okay, now I'm famous," but she used
Yeah.
that
She
to.
gave back so much of
Mhm.
her funding, but also her time.
Yeah, exactly. And through the years, it didn't. She got an award like shortly before she passed. She was always going,
Yeah.
helping, which is great.
And um her childhood really influenced her throughout her life too. Like what she suffered, what her family suffered and what she suffered um affected her, but in a good
Mhm.
way. It brought her to
Yeah,
be someone um who could really be there for other people and be that example like you're talking about.
right. Yeah, definitely. I think that's so inspiring that you can just move past things and then end up devoting your time to help other people. I think that's
Yeah,
great. You know, so
she's
so she,
amazing. She was amazing.
yeah, she was.
Is there anybody else? Anything else you want to say about her? Anything else about her before we move on to somebody else, if there's somebody else?
No, so all right, there is one more person, but I could talk on and on about Audrey Hepburn, but
You can go. I mean, how did she influence your idea to go into fashion?
I think in a way she did. She was very like classic, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just like a classy woman. I think that's great, you know? Um, I don't know. I think that's it really.
and then who
so,
else?
so one more person was my, I guess you could say ex mother-in-law. She passed of breast cancer about 2 years ago.
Okay,
And she battled it for 15 years, or maybe even more than 15 years.
okay,
Um, but looking at her, you would never know it. She was one of those people that, as sick as she would always kind of seem herself,
uh-huh,
very positive and upbeat, and no, I'm fine. Let's just, have our fun together. And
uh-huh.
um, yeah, I think because she was so positive and strong, to go through things. Um, yeah, strong woman. There you go.
It goes with your strong coffee.
Yes,
You've got this
strong enough.
strong theme going on over
I do, don't
there.
I?
Just enjoying is what you're. Strength and joy is what you're
Strength and joy.
turning to,
I
which is
like that.
good. Yeah, I have a journal literally called that.
Yeah,
Joy and strength. Do you see it?
I see it. Yeah.
It's
I'm gonna write
100 days of joy and strength. Oh,
I'm gonna look for that. That's so cool.
I got it at Barnes and Noble, but I
Okay.
know I'm like telling you all this in the interview. Oh yeah, by the way,
Barnes and Noble plug.
Barnes and Noble. Get there.
That's so funny.
No, I think you'll really like it actually. I got that to help pull me out of the digital realm because I was doing I've had to do so much digitally with the consultations and everything that really kept me grounded and out.
That's great. That's nice.
Okay, so if there was one thing you could tell every woman, or you think that every woman should know, what would it be? Like that one nugget you wish someone had told you, or that someone did tell you, or that you have learned that is really important, or that you have always lived by.
Wow.
Is that one thing? Or you can
thing.
one if there's too many categories that I gave you.
I think one thing, so no one ever told me this, but I guess I've just kind of like learned this along the way through people that I admire, is to always believe in yourself. If you ever have doubts of your dreams or what you want to do or self-conscious about it, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because whatever reason, just throw all those questions away and just do it. Just go after your passion. With strength and joy.
Strength and joy.
Bring those together. No, but I think that's it. Just to always, go after your dreams because you can do it. Have the strength to do it.
And don't doubt your dreams.
Exactly. Don't doubt it. Do whatever you want.
How would you define a woman full of soul?
Full of soul.
It could be one word. It can be a whole phrase.
Right.
But if you give me one word, I'm going to ask you to explain.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave it at just one word, but
I can't just do one word. Full of soul. So I guess if I think of somebody full of soul, I would picture someone really happy in themselves and with other people. I think to me that's full of soul. Like, just like living life to the fullest and being just full of joy. Does that sound cheesy or what?
No, it's good, but I'm going to ask you to debunk that because there's two pieces to that. One is, okay, so you said fully alive.
Right.
So can you explain what it looks like to be fully alive?
To be fully alive.
Yeah.
Personally.
Or what you see in other people that you're like, yeah, they're
fully alive. I think someone who can just keep being resilient and moving through obstacles in a positive way.
Okay. And then there was another question, but now I forgot it. Talk to me a little bit more about your woman full of soul.
Okay.
Because it's going to come back and it was important.
I'll for your question back. But so I was thinking somebody who's always positive and really enjoys life to the fullest.
Yeah, it's the positive piece.
Right.
So we're in like total chaos right now.
In every sense.
We've already talked about this before the interview. We're in total chaos. Yep. And so what does it look like to be full of joy now? In this total chaos state of COVID, and what would you say that looks like?
I think I would say it would be not to focus so much on the, I guess, the standstill that everybody's feeling with the pandemic and with the election. Everything's kind of frozen in a sense.
You're like, hands.
You're almost, yeah.
And by the way,
Like a lot of people are almost at the point where they're like, forget it, and they give up. But I think you just have to keep being positive and pushing through, and just go out for a walk, enjoy the day, whether it's sunny out or not, or just do something joyful.
that was going to be a question for you. What are some recommendations you have for people to be full of joy right now?
Right now,
I mean, you can do
huh,
post-COVID too, but I want you to do
right.
COVID, happy, joy. The recommendations.
Well, all right. So for me and the girls, movement has been huge. Like whether it's just doing yoga in the TV room,
Yeah.
going for a walk, fresh air, just I think movement to get yourself going, for me, puts things in a positive way. And then, for people who like to go on runs and whatnot, I know you enjoy running.
Yeah, I run all the
Sure
time.
I'm sure you
If I
think
didn't run, I don't know what would happen to me if I didn't run. Like, I don't know. It clears my mind, it does give me that joy.
right.
It does. But
Yeah.
there's a release in that too, where because of the self-talk, it's not just self-talk. There's like a whole thing that I do when I run. So, um, I'm able to release whatever my body is holding in that
Right.
would make me not be able to survive.
It's therapeutic. It's almost therapeutic. Going
Yeah,
out, moving
it
around,
is.
fresh air, even just a walk around the block just to decompress.
Anything else? The joy element, how to foster this joy during COVID.
Oh gosh. Reconnecting with people, even just like you and I, we haven't seen each other in forever. And this would be more
No, and I'm
enjoyable,
laughing a lot.
right? We're having such a good time. So reconnecting, whether it's a phone call or Skype or in person, not many people can do anymore. So I think it's great that we have the technology that we do during this pandemic to connect with people. So pick up the phone and call someone.
It'd be a lot harder if you didn't have any connection.
It
That'd
would
be
be.
very, very difficult if you had nobody around you and no connection.
Yeah, definitely.
It
Definitely.
would be sad.
It would be. It would be really sad.
And even, the beginning of our conversation before we started recording this session, it wasn't like super happy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was us releasing, but in that you're able to get your joy back and find your happiness and, really state what's true for you and have somebody else actually hear what you're saying and know what you're going through and
Right.
um,
Definitely.
recognize that at this time too. So I agree with you.
Yeah, some human connection, even if it's through a computer. It's been great.
Even if.
But so can I pause this? My girls are texting me for various reasons. I don't know if
Sure,
you.
we can pause it and then wrap up when you come back.
Yeah, or even another day. Is it possible to do another day?
Oh,
Or
yeah. But that
is
was
that
the last
okay?
question, so we could always just close. It's up
Oh,
to you. I think that
okay.
was my last question, but we can, it's up to you.
Well, we can always FaceTime again anyways because this is fun.
All right. That sounds good. So, so this was our episode of A Woman Full of Soul for today. And if Nicole has more she wants to add, I will be doing a part 2.
Anything else, but maybe.
She may have something else really deep she wants to share. She'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot this really important thing. So we're going to wrap it up for our episode for Woman Full of Soul. And then now that we're doing that, I'm going to wrap up my my Zoom with Nicole. So ciao to everybody
Thank you.
else, and I'll talk to you all later.